lies that led to January 6th are part of a broader attack on the truth of America today that we all have seen before. The same movement that throughout the mob of the United States Capitol isn't just trying to rewrite history, January 6th, they're trying to determine to erase history and your future. Banning books, denying your right to vote and have it counted, destroying diversity, equality, inclusion all across America, harboring hate and replacing hope with anger and resentment and dangerous view of America. That narrow view of America, zero-sum view of America that says, if you win, I lose.
Right.
If you succeed, it must be I failed.
Right.
If you get ahead, I fall behind.
Right.
And maybe worst of all, if I hold you down, I lift myself up.
Yep.
That's not new in America. Every stride forward has often been met with ferocious backlashes from those who fear the progress, from those who exploit that fear for their own personal gain, from those who traffic in lies told for profit and power.
That's a beautiful, section right there of what the speech was today, because that is exactly the way that the maggots look at the United States. It is a zero-sum game to them. And for people that have heard that expression, zero-sum game, for a really long time and don't get how what that really is or what it would look like in a society, Joe Biden laid it out for you really crystal clear there. It means if I hold you down, I will get ahead. It means I have to hold you down if I want to get ahead. It means if you succeed, I fail. It means that there's like one chance of opportunity. And if you get a little of it, that means I get less of it. And that is not a society. That is not our culture. It is not democracy. It is not a thing. It's not even real. But this is how you bring resentment and hatred into your fans, okay, into their hearts, into their minds. This is what you do. You tell them that, and you say over and over again, right? And you show them the others that are the ones that are getting, and you make your fans believe that because they're getting, you're losing, and it's garbage. It's garbage. The better everyone does, the better everyone does. And you know what the real truth of it is that if somebody isn't free, if there's no freedom for this person, then there's no freedom for any person, unless that person has been met with due process. And that is the only way in America that you take somebody's freedom away. It is the only way in America that we actually take away someone's liberty. And that's why, it's so important that people be brought to the bar of justice, that juries render verdicts, that, judges sit and, hold free and fair trials, that they make sure, and that there's an appeals process to review the procedures of the free and fair trial to make sure that trial was free and fair, not to relitigate the facts or to second guess the jury, but to look at the procedure and make sure that every objection was met with the right response, that every a piece of evidence had been put into evidence by following the rules of evidence, right? And you make sure that there was a free and fair trial. That's how seriously we take taking somebody's liberty away in this country. Freedom is everything. But you have a party that wants to keep it just for themselves. They just want to, niche out the freedom. They just women aren't free anymore, as we all know. Kids aren't free anymore, as we all know. They can't read whatever they want to read. They can't go to a school library in their tween years if they're feeling a little awkward or a little out of sorts or a little strange, and they're not ready to confide in their mom or their counselor or their whatever or their friend. So they might go to the library looking for some information about why they feel so strange or why they feel so different or why they don't fit in or what is the appropriate response to bullying, right? No, those books have been removed by virtue of a woman who does threesomes in Florida, but wants to tell you what's appropriate for your child to read or to know. I mean, look, the whole idea that freedom has to be limited in this country is one view, and it's the view of the right wing in this country. It's certainly not the view of everybody else. Independents don't hold that as a view. The only unlimited freedom that the right wing believes in is the unlimited freedom of gun ownership. Period. End of story. And here we are at this a crime scene essentially. Okay, this church was a white supremacist crime scene where a white supremacist killed multiple people after being in their company for hours. It's a very sad and sick situation. But Biden felt like he had to go down there. And, when you talk about mass shootings, Donald Trump in Iowa, he was very busy telling you, oh, it was a shame that there was a shooting in Iowa. Really, and that had happened here. Like among all you nice white people was basically his, his avenue into talking about. And he goes, but, we just have to get over it. This is their solution to, massacres. Just get over it.
It's horrible to see that happening. That's just horrible. So surprising to see it here. But I have to get over it.
You have to get over it. He has absolutely no policy. But I mean, this is a guy whose last, inaugural speech, and hopefully the only inaugural speech that he will ever live to give, said, this American carnage stops now. American carnage, right? Now he's running, and there's still American carnage. And he says, oh, well, you got to get over the American carnage. Just get over it. That's what you got to do. I mean, you have such a clear choice. Unfortunately, this is the same choice we had before. And people, chose wisely. And you got to kind of hope that people will again. But even if they do, you now have a fully formed cult of militia people who are being organized way ahead to not accept the results of a free and fair election in this country if Donald Trump isn't chosen. And he by all accounts, he won't be.